What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to Colony Survival. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as our one little archer up here. He's getting that XP, bro. He's up here getting that XP, just farming it. This dude's going to level up like crazy. No, there's no level ups or anything like that. We should be in the market for a food delivery pretty soon. It looks like all of our little wheats are popping on up. It's been 2 days, and that looks pretty sweet to me. I think everything's going to be fine with our food supply. Instead, what we want to focus on today is getting down to the bottom of the bedrock zone so that we can start mining iron, because once we run out of arrows, we're going to have a very real problem on our hands. So, before we go any further, I'm going to grab some torches. We're going to light up the night. And we're going to start putting in some torches here just so I can see a little bit better. And I am going to get to work mining away at this wall so we can get down to the bedrock zone. I don't know exactly where that's going to be at, but I have been informed by other Let's Players and stuff like that that I got to get down to the bottom so that we can get ourselves some iron, and then we can convert those into ingots. So, stick along with me. I think this is going to be a fairly, I mean, it has to be. This is one of those series that I really kind of have to edit the shit out of, because if I don't, there's going to be a whole lot of boring farming and whatnot in here, and some people are going to be bummed out by that fact. Other people are going to be perfectly okay with it. I don't mind sitting down and playing for a little while, though, if it means that we end up with kind of cool stuff. I don't know how far down bedrock is going to be. My assumption is that it'll be down here somewhere. I don't know. I'm just going to get to work building like a little stairwell. And as we get deeper and deeper down, like deep, deep, say down, down, say deep down in my mind. Yeah. That's the best part of that song is when you get to go, yeah. I think any song that allows you to go, yeah, is fundamentally probably it's probably a decent song on some level. Like, you've got to be able to go, yeah, at some point in the refrain, though. And if I don't get that, I don't want to sing that song anymore. So at the end of our little hallway here, what I'm attempting to do actually is I'm going to put a little vestibule basically, because I don't want this to get too far away from my base. If this gets too far away from my base, I'm going to start feeling a little bit antsy about the whole thing, but I will even out this stone right here just so it looks uniform with the rest of it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go full turn right here. So it's going to be a bit of a spiral staircase. If you've ever seen this before, I want it to loop back into the base so that we don't get too far out of bounds before things fall apart. It'll probably just be like a little 3x3 over here. And then we'll continue our dive down into the depths of the earth. Ah, and down here we have a new stone color. I see mineable things. That's probably good. Okay. Well, that means we've made it at the bare minimum, so we may want to set up a miner down here and tell him just to, like, go to town. I don't know precisely how we're going to organize that, but we have more than enough food at the moment, so I should be able to expand my workforce and maybe just kind of automate some of these more dull tasks. It looks like we've made it down. It told me in the little tutorial thing that we needed to make it to bedrock in order to get metals and whatnot. God, all this stone is running together for me. It all looks the same. All this gray stone. All this gray stone. So this is where I would actually actively place my miners. If I had... Oh, I do have a mining tool. Okay. Well, then we will set a miner. Ah, there it is. Okay, so what you got to do in order to get this to work is you've got to press 1 to go to your colony management tool, and then you left click and you say you want like a miner down here, and then I'm pretty sure you just tell them what you want them to mine. Unfortunately, these all look like maybe I'm setting up separate miners on this, I think. Okay. The controls take a little bit of getting used to in this game. They're a little bit odd. But once you figure it out, it shouldn't be too bad. So if I put a miner down here, he should sit, and I think that's gold. I think that's like gypsum or something. That's coal. The next thing that I would want to find personally, now that we've hit the bedrock layer, is iron. So let me dig around down here until we find iron, because that was the big goal. It looks like our harvest provided us with about 150 food, which is great. That means I should be able to go in and get a couple more colonists in this episode too. But let me do some exploratory mining. Now, typically this will be done in industry a little bit differently. I mean, if you go out into the hills in Nevada where a lot of mining takes place, you'll actually find on a bunch of public land, you'll find big blast holes, blast craters. In fact, inside those blast craters, typically that means that somebody found enough ore and nice things to where they started blasting it away, and they wanted to see kind of what the constituent rock looked like underneath. You can tell really by the color. If you've got any kind of sulfur in there, the sulfur is going to make the clay kind of, or it's going to make the earth kind of yellowish. If you got any kind of iron, it'll be kind of reddish. If there's copper around, like malachite or cooperite or anything like that, you'll start finding yourself the ground has kind of a green tinge to it. And that's where you start to get people who, like, exploratory, throw sticks of dynamite all over the place and are just like, hey, where the good expensive stuff at? The same thing goes for gold mining and whatever, but gold mining and everything are a tiny bit different. Copper mining is done mostly with leaching, which is probably not so great for the earth. That's probably our iron right there, would be my guess. That's more than likely our guy. So what I'll do is I will take that. We'll get rid of you. And I'm going to tell him to come down here and we'll put a miner right there. And so we need one more colonist for this to work. And actually, I'll probably get a couple of colonists to put on this because we got a much better food yield than I thought we were going to get. The game does need things like stairways. I don't know. I don't like having to hippity-hop my way back up in here. But it looks like it's nighttime. They've replanted all the fields. Food is looking pretty good. So we'll go back over to here. And we need more beds. More beds are what we need. So we've got planks, so that's already good to go. Where my bed's at? 3 planks and 3 straw. I have planks. I have them. They are here, sir. Oh, they have to be... Okay, so this is like our chest inventory. I got you. I understand now. We'll get 2 more beds. And those will be stored mostly in here. We'll give them a little bit of personal space, though, so that they can play around with that. Because, you know, ain't nobody want to share space with somebody. You got to have a little demarcation in between the beds. Or you put them closer, you know, if they like each other. Maybe they want to hold hands while they sleep, while they whisper silently sweet nothings into each other's ears. There we go. So we'll put in 2 more beds. I'm going to recruit 2 more colonists because we have the food supply for it. So I might as well. I'll probably go like... There we go, 2 more colonists. One of them is going to become a miner. He doesn't have a pickaxe, though, because it's probably inside my inventory. So I'll throw it inside the... There we go. Back into the general purpose inventory. This guy over here doesn't really have a job. Where's the other guy going? I wanted to see what happens with him. They're probably all going to go to bed. Yeah, we got colonists sleeping all over the place. Just sleeping, schlepping the day away. And once we start to accumulate a bit of an iron supply, I'll feel better about all this. Throw the saplings inside of there. I'll probably come up. Actually, we should probably get a forester too. That'll help out with our wood supply here. So I want a forester, and the forester will do his thing over here. How big is too big? We'll go with a 10 by 10 right here. And hopefully our forester can get something awesome done with that. It's a nice little square shape. I like it when things are square shaped. It makes me feel like they're more organized. And then I am going to spend the day putting in a few more modifications to our walls. The zombie invasions have not gotten too far out of control. A little trick for building walls like this, in case you didn't know, you just put the block at the end and then you walk backwards, and as long as there's a stop behind you, you should hit it when you get to the end so that you don't fall off the walls repeatedly over and over again. It's a little trick that I've used in Minecraft and other games ad nauseum, believe me. I thought about going back to Minecraft for a little while, not necessarily putting anything about it on the channel, but just kind of checking it out and seeing what's going on with it lately. But just never got around to it, really. I'm playing XCOM Enemy Within right now, which is a game that I never got around to playing, too. I got a huge amount of games in my personal, like, stockpile of stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, and I just never get around to playing it. XCOM Enemy Within's being vicious, though, man. I was on my first mission, like the first one where you deploy down to fight with the sectoids or whatever, and on my first turn in-game, I got a 6 damage crit on one of my guys through full cover while he was hunkered down. And this is not even on a hard difficulty. This isn't even on classic or impossible or anything. It's just on normal difficulty. And that thought that that's XCOM, baby, started bouncing through my mind. That used to be people's response to everything back when you used to complain about XCOM. They'd be like, yeah, that's XCOM, baby. And I was like, dude, you just killed my heavy, man. You killed my heavy. That guy was supposed to tote the big guns for me. And then you messed it. Yeah, you better shoot that zombie over there. I think it's about time we get a new archer, too. Just in case. We've got tons of stone, so I don't think we're ever going to run out of this ever again. Get this wall nice and finished off, and I'll start making corner spots where they can get up on the walls and fight from their own little offices or whatever. In fact, that's probably what I'll do over here. We'll start putting in some of the castellations. I don't think it has to be like that high. It could be something pretty simple to do right there. Are all the zombies gone? Are we solid? I'm also interested in finding out, so is he actually mining down there? He took a pickaxe, and there's coal ore inside of there, but I don't see anything else going down. So it's kind of a weird spot to be in. I'm going to expand this out so it has like a walkway over here. Nope, that's not what I want. We're going to make this like a 2 wide, basically. And in fact, this might be easier to do from lower on the wall. Essentially, I just want a walkway that goes around and starts from like right there so it doesn't get in the way when I'm trying to walk around. Only got like 8 bricks left, so I'm going to have to get the... Oh my god. Item placement, why you being such a dick to me? All I want to do is let you see all these bricks I give to thee, because I am the builder. Alright, so we got that right there. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I ain't know, man. And then I'll build a new stairwell back here. Makes it a little bit simpler to get into. There we go. So now he should be able to get onto the wall from there. I may have to expand that out a little bit further, but for now, good enough for me. If it's good enough for you. There we go. That's what'll get us back up onto the walls. We've got our 2 wide so that he actually has an access point over here that he should be able to utilize. And I'm just going to make kind of a little parapet wall over here. And we're going to leave it pretty wide open because I want them to be able to shoot at stuff. I don't think there's going to be anything coming at us from the sky. I think the enemies right now are limited to just zombies. Later on, they'll probably add more stuff that you've got to deal with as you play the game. That seems good. And then we'll put in a back wall over here. A back bottom wall. Because that's the wall that holds it down for the set. Put in a nice little ceiling so that they can be in and like maybe out of the elements. I don't think they care. I'm out of my element right now. This is not the kind of game that I typically play, so bear with me as I get this done. Nope, don't want you right there. There it is. And so now we've got ourselves kind of a badass little defensive zone. That used up a surprising quantity of stone. It looks like we've picked up a shit ton of gypsum. Okay. Gypsum has uses in a number of other things. Typically what you use gypsum for is modifying other things. I'll probably just keep this nice and even right here. There we go. Just put some little castellations on it. It's got its thing going on this side. We'll put an archer right here and an archer right here for later. We'll probably put a crate up on this side so that they have access to the things that they need. I may replace... Actually, the floor's already been replaced with wood, so I may not need to do that. But I'm going to need to do one of these, like, on each side of the base. Ow, that hurt. Jesus. Okay, I don't know how I heal myself, but I'll figure it out later. I'm going to deassign him from being an archer right now. And then I need this to go out a tiny bit further. Not too much further, but a tiny bit. There we go. We will make sure the outline is good on every single corner so that it looks all nice and sexy. Because decorative does matter. You gotta have... If you don't have the decorative points, what do you actually have in your base? If your base ain't looking fly, it's just it's a whack-ass base. It's a jive turkey base. And we can't have a jive turkey base. There. The wall is now concluded, and I do think it looks a little bit better than how it looked before. I've still got to go ahead and get a stairwell built over here, and I'll probably just emulate it along this side. So we'll go down like so. And there it is. That's going to be our little gate. Just our little gate between you and me. Nobody else needs to know that it's over here. I don't know precisely how I want to get this other gatehouse built because they've got to be uniform. But they probably won't be. It looks like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 long. Sticking out from the wall. And how wide is it from the front? Ugh, I'm going to have to rebuild this. I already know it. I already know I'm going to have to rebuild this. So it goes 4 in from the wall right there. Oh, this is going to suck. I'm going to mess this up and it's going to look super dumb. Because it's not going to be symmetrical. I'm going to feel like a dumbass. There we go. Gonna just put in some flooring for right now. And just hope that my flooring ain't boring. That looks kind of similar to what I had going on the other side. Now I just got to figure out my little, like... I got, like, this little bathroom. Doesn't it look like the bathroom door at, like, one of those bathrooms that's at, like, the beach? That's what it reminds me of. That's kind of what it looks like to me. For now, we'll just place an archer right here. Rotated that way. And then we'll have another one right there. So we do have unemployment at the moment. But our food supply is still good. And I think we should have somebody... What did that say? It said something. I don't know what it said, but it said something. It said something about somebody dead, like in the little worksheet thing. How much ore is he stacked up? He's gotten 100 gypsum. Why are you mining gypsum, dude? I don't need gypsum. Let me see what you've accomplished down here. I need to find out. I need to figure out how this is going awry. Oh, that was gypsum right there. It wasn't iron, so I assigned him to gypsum. Ugh. That means I gotta keep on excavating until I find what I want. There it is. That's what I wanted. So now we'll go back to our little command menu. I will say, no, you are no longer a miner. I will say right here, you will now be a miner. I need iron. I need iron very badly. He probably assigned himself to an archery post, though, which would be not the worst thing that's ever happened, but certainly not the best. Let me get back up to the top and make sure he didn't. Yeah, I think he did. We'll go ahead and we'll... Yep, he turned himself into an archer. We'll go ahead and get rid of that, and he can go back down and mine some more. I don't know if I like this. This looks a little wacky and messed up now that I'm looking at it. We may just want to do like a normal tower over here. Keep all this weird like extendy bullshit off to the side. Yeah, I think that might be the ticket. We might just want to make this its own little thing over here. Just kind of deal with it as we get to it. Obviously, it still needs to be like a 2-width over here, but I think I tried to get overly complicated with it. Now it just looks funky. Funky! It only really needs to be open on those two sides, though. Yeah, that'll be cool. We'll deal with the rest of it a little bit later. Nice. Now we just got to set up the little castellations on the wall, and we should be solid as far as everything else goes. I'll probably just... There's no guarantee that these are going to work out the way that I want them to and end like evenly because I didn't count spaces before I started doing this. It's been a long time since I played a building game, alright? It's been a while. It's been a while since I could say that I built me a tower, and it's been a while. I think we're just going to do something like that right there. But I think it's got to go down to the end for it to match up to the other side, so... Oh, well. Hey, bro, this guy's inside. I was going to say, you want to shoot him? It's got to be a blind spot issue right there. I may want to create a tunnel so that they have to walk through like a kill box right here. Essentially, because I can't risk that happening as the zombie attacks get more and more frequent. That was looking a little ugly to me. That was looking like something could have gone wrong right there. We will wall this up. Take out these blocks. And like, yeah, it looks like a guardhouse. I mean, it'll work. It's not my favorite construction that I've ever hammered together, but it's a construction. Cool. Couple more blocks in play. Ooh, this one actually worked out perfect. It's got the little castellations and everything. Nice. Whereas that one over there has kind of a thing going on. It's a little bit challenged looking. I don't know. Maybe I'll just take all this down. Aw, dude, he killed my archer. Oh no. He should die when the sun comes up. I gotta run this dude around for a second. He slew him. He slew my archer. All I ever cared about was that archer, and you slewed him. So yeah, we got to come up with a way. Nobody actually leaves the base, so I could just brick up the front of the base. As soon as the sun comes up, I think these guys will die. The sun will come up, kill zombies. They got really nice shirts. They've got not work in the sun. Come on, gentlemen. Follow me around. Don't mess with my colonists. I can't afford to rehire them. I'm kind of broke because we run on a serious deficit. There we go. They all fell down and died. We all fall down. And we've got a harvest today, so I'll hire new archers in just a minute. But I do think a kill box is in order. Either that or at the bare minimum, I can just brick up the front of the base and not worry about it. I don't know if they'll start attacking blocks if they can't get in. But we have no reason to go outside, so why bother? I'm just going to go ahead and brick it up for right now, and we'll worry about the rest in a minute. I think they got a blind spot over on that corner, and that's what's causing the issue. We'll get rid of that right there, and we'll actually put colonists sitting on top of each of these spots. Maybe I'll put them along the sides of the base, but I don't know. I gotta fix this thing over here first, though. I'm thinking it's not symmetrical because I built it to the same specifications as the building underneath it, instead of kind of just like doing my thing over here. Yeah, I think that's the problem. It's looking a little bit better now that I've moved that over to there. I don't know what you guys think of building games like this. Like, I have no idea what to predict when it comes to my audience in, like, building games. It's always a tad confusing. It looks like it's still not the right length. So we've got 6 that way, and in fact I need 5. We've got 6 this way, and in fact I need 5. Okay. I can deal with this, no problem, man. No problem, man. We can fix this super easy. And then assuming I don't fall to my death over here, we should be good. I'll probably leave this open on one side with like a little doorway. Yeah, it looks alright to me. So then we can come back this way too if we need to. Then we'll just kind of hop down from the wall. And as soon as I understand my current food situation... Oh, shit, I fell down a hole. As soon as I understand my current food production, we'll start messing around with new ideas. But we're at 25 usage a day. They're farming out these fields. I think that should put us to a solid 300, 400 food. Cool. All nice and done, banging it out. Man, we went through a lot of these materials a lot faster than I thought we would. We went through materials with a quickness and a hype. I was not expecting to go through materials this rapidly. There should already be like a 2-space walkway over there. Yeah, so everything looks solid for right now. I think there's only... Actually, no, there's like no areas that I failed to protect. Everything looks good. Everything should be right where it needs to be. We'll put in a support strut right here because I'll admit that definitely does not look geologically sound. Pretty sure the first strong sneeze/earthquake is going to knock this thing down. We'll put in some supports right here. What we'll do is we will call this a villager house over here. Yeah, that actually sounds great. We'll call it a villager house. Did we get iron? Oh, good, we did get iron ore. So I'll have to figure out how we process that in a little bit, too, so we can get some more arrows. Aside from that, it looks like we've basically fulfilled what we need to fulfill on this side. There's already a house over there, so obviously that's not going to be symmetrical. But nothing I can do there. Let me throw in, like, another 2 beds so that I can recruit. And we'll try to get 2 more archers ready, because I think that's what we need. So I'll put in a bed right there, and a bed right there. And so, yeah, our little colony growing up right now. All growed up. I'll put an archer right there. And an archer right there. They should be able to get up there no problem. We'll put ones on the corners too to try to detract from anybody that wants to roll through and cause problems for me and mine. And then I need... Yep. Recruit 2 colonists. There we go. So we got 2 more colonists, and there ain't enough bows for either one of them. So I need to craft the bows, but I don't have any planks, and I don't have any wood. Has the forester done what he's supposed to do yet? How you doing over here, forester? You doing like a thing? Pretty sure foresters can just like glitch through walls because he's blocked in right now. But he still manages to come to work every day, so you know what? Drive and initiative. I appreciate that in the surf class. They've got to be able to work until the day they drop from some easily preventable lung infection. Cool. That'll give us the little supply of wood that we needed in order for everything to come back around. I don't know how many logs he's going to bring in from over there. I would assume it'll be in the realm of like 20 to 25. But until I have further stuff, this isn't really going to be a super great option. Dude, I like the way our base looks. It's looking pretty swell already. Like, if we set it up like this and we just use this as the template to get through, I think we'll be in pretty good shape to not have too many problems. The other thing is I'm going to limit roof access for now, too. So that once the archers go up there, they're already going to be deployed. So there's no reason for us to concern ourselves with it. In the meantime, we'll make a whole bunch of planks out of this because I've run out, apparently. We'll throw that in right there. I'll put that in my inventory, and we'll get 5 bows, which we'll throw inside the inventory. And the second they get up on the walls, we will go ahead and we will cancel out these little stairwells right here so the zombies can't get after them. But my name is Splattercat. This game is called Colony Survival. Thank you for joining me. We just did a short little series on it to let you know, let you see if it's something that you might be into. It's basically just Minecraft where you can automate a lot of the gathering, from what I can tell so far, and you have to deal with like wave defense every single night. Other than that, I will see you all in the next episode of whatever we do. Bang your hands and stomp your feet if you really want to see more of this, and I'll think about doing a 3rd episode. I don't know if the game saves or anything yet. I was too scared to stop the game and then try it out. Like, I was too terrified of what would happen. You know, like, I was like, oh, shit, something bad gonna happen if I do this. But yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.